Close your eyes, imagine a world lit by candles and fireplaces. Horses clomp down dirt roads, the air is filled with the smells of wood smoke and baking bread. This is the world of the 1730s, a time far different from our own. Life moved at a slower pace then. Most people lived in the countryside. They farmed the land and lived close to nature. Cities were smaller, but they were growing centers of trade and new ideas. The 1730s were a time of contrasts. Elegant dances and fine clothing existed alongside poverty and hardship. New inventions sparked curiosity, while old traditions held strong. Let's journey back to the 1730s and explore this fascinating time. The rooster's crow was the alarm clock for most in the 1730s. The sun dictated the rhythm of their day. Farmers and their families woke up early to tend to their crops and animals. Men, women, and children worked together in the fields. They planted, weeded, and harvested by hand. They used simple tools like plows and scythes. Children helped with chores like feeding chickens and gathering eggs. Farm animals were essential to survival. Cows provided milk, butter, and cheese. Pigs were raised for meat. Oxen helped plow the fields. Chickens provided fresh eggs. Life on the farm was hard work, but it was also a time for families to be together. They shared stories and songs as they worked. They took pride in their self-sufficiency. Cities in the 1730s were vibrant and crowded. They were centers of trade and commerce. Merchants sold their goods in bustling marketplaces. The air was filled with the sounds of bartering and conversation. Skilled craftsmen like blacksmiths, shoemakers, and tailors had workshops along the streets. They made and repaired goods for the city dwellers. Apprentices learned their trades from these master craftsmen. The printing press was changing the world. Books, pamphlets, newspapers spread news and ideas faster than ever before. People became more literate. They were exposed to new thoughts and perspectives. Cities were also places of great inequality. The wealthy lived in grand houses. They enjoyed a life of leisure and luxury. The poor struggled to survive, often living in crowded slums. Life in the 1730s wasn't all work and no play. People found time for leisure and entertainment, even if it was simple. Taverns were important gathering places. People drank ale, shared news, and played games like cards and dice. Traveling musicians provided entertainment. Taverns were places for people to socialize and relax. Outdoor games were popular. Children played games like marbles and hoops. Adults enjoyed bowling and lawn bowling. Fairs and festivals offered a chance to celebrate, listen to music, and watch traveling performers. The wealthy enjoyed more refined entertainment. They attended balls and dances. Theaters presented plays. Opera houses showcased musical performances. These events provided opportunities for socializing and displaying their wealth. Section 5. Faith and Community, the Heart of Society. Religion played a central role in the lives of most people in the 1730s. Church attendance was expected, and it was more than just a religious obligation. It was a time for prayer, reflection, and community. The church was a place where people could come together, share their joys and sorrows, and find solace in their faith. Sunday services were the highlight of the week. They provided a break from the daily grind and a chance to reconnect with one's spiritual self. People dressed in their finest clothes. This was a special occasion, a time to present oneself with dignity and respect. They listened to sermons and sang hymns. These activities were not just rituals, but were deeply meaningful, reinforcing their beliefs and values. Churches were also centers for social events like weddings and funerals. These ceremonies marked significant life events and were integral to the community's social fabric. Communities came together to help each other. Whether it was through organized events or spontaneous acts of kindness, the sense of community was strong. They shared resources and provided support during difficult times. This mutual aid was a cornerstone of their way of life. Barn raisings, where neighbors helped build a new barn, demonstrated the spirit of cooperation. These events were both practical and symbolic of their collective strength. Religious beliefs also shaped people's worldviews. They influenced how individuals saw their place in the world and their responsibilities to others. They believed in the power of prayer. It was a source of comfort and strength, especially during challenging times. They saw their lives as part of a larger divine plan. This belief gave them a sense of purpose and direction. Faith provided comfort, guidance, and a sense of belonging. It was the heart of their society, influencing every aspect of their lives. Section 6. The Enlightenment, a time of new ideas. The 1730s were part of a period called the Enlightenment. Thinkers and philosophers challenged old ways of thinking. They emphasized reason, science, and individual liberty. Scientists made groundbreaking discoveries. Isaac Newton's laws of motion and gravity revolutionized our understanding of the universe. Advances in medicine and astronomy expanded human knowledge. Philosophers like John Locke argued for individual rights and limited government. They believed that people had the right to life, liberty, and property. These ideas influenced revolutions in America and France. The Enlightenment sparked a passion for knowledge. People read books, attended lectures, and formed discussion groups called salons. They debated new ideas and challenged traditional authority. Section 7. A World Connected, Trade and Tragedy. The 1730s saw the growth of global trade. This era marked the beginning of a truly interconnected world where goods, ideas and cultures flowed across continents. Ships sailed across the oceans carrying goods and connecting distant lands. These vessels were the lifelines of commerce, braving treacherous waters to bring exotic products to European markets. European powers established colonies in the Americas and Asia. These colonies were not just outposts, but integral parts of a vast economic network that fueled European prosperity. New products like coffee, tea, and sugar became popular in Europe. These commodities transformed European lifestyles and became symbols of wealth and sophistication. These goods came from plantations in the Americas where enslaved Africans were forced to work. The brutal system of slavery was the dark underbelly of this economic boom. The transatlantic slave trade was a horrific chapter in human history. Millions of Africans were torn from their homes and subjected to unimaginable suffering. Cultural exchange accompanied this global trade. As goods moved, so did ideas, art, and traditions, enriching societies but also leading to cultural clashes. European ideas and fashions spread to other parts of the world. This diffusion of culture was a two-way street, influencing both the colonizers and the colonized. At the same time, European societies were influenced by cultures they encountered. This exchange led to a blending of traditions and the birth of new cultural practices. This interconnectedness brought both progress and exploitation. While economies flourished, the human cost was immense, with exploitation and inequality becoming rampant. It led to economic growth, but also to slavery and colonialism. The wealth generated came at the expense of millions who suffered under oppressive regimes. The legacies of this period continue to shape our world today. The economic and cultural impacts of 18th century trade are still evident, reminding us of a past filled with both triumph and tragedy. Section 8. Echoes of the Past. The 1730s and us. The 1730s may seem like a distant past, a time shrouded in the mists of history. Yet it was a period of profound transformation and growth. But this era left an indelible mark on our world, influencing the way we live, work and think today. It was a time of hardship and innovation, faith and reason, connection and exploitation. The struggles and triumphs of the people of the 1730s resonate with us even now. The agricultural practices of the 1730s laid the foundation for our modern food systems. Techniques developed during this time improved crop yields and farming efficiency. The craftsmanship of the time produced beautiful and enduring objects. Artisans honed their skills to create items that were not only functional but also works of art. The ideas of the Enlightenment continue to inspire us to strive for a more just and equitable society. Philosophers of the era challenged old ways of thinking and laid the groundwork for modern democracy and human rights. As we look back on the 1730s, we gain a deeper appreciation for the complexities of history. We see the interplay of various forces that shaped the world we know today. We see how the past has shaped our present, how the innovations and ideas of that time have evolved and influenced our current technologies and societal structures. And we are reminded of the importance of learning from history as we navigate the challenges of our own time. By understanding the past, we can better prepare for the future, ensuring that the lessons learned are not forgotten.